It is not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an ordeal. It's supposed to be taking you away from your family, from your vocation, from your community, to go and do your service to the community. And so they never anticipated that those who were there, once they got there, would have the ability to morph it into what it's become now, which is a way of life, which is a lifestyle, that they are just patting the feathers of their little nest there in D.C. with our tax dollars. And until we can resolve that issue, and the way we do that is by saying, whatever is good for us, the people, is good for you in Congress. No exceptions. Until we do that, term limits will be a very valuable mechanism. But we need some type of a transition process. In other words, at the end of the term, it just doesn't go off into oblivion and then we hope that we find somebody else. No, we can be grooming succession. Because again, if you're happy with the person that you have there, that person should then be involved in having you select or having a recommendation for who's going to follow, hopefully carrying forward the same interests and the same values that you like so much in this person who's turning out. So no, there are ways that we can accommodate and account for that. It just doesn't go off into a black hole and go on to a random process at the end of that term limit. To me, 12 years is a nice round number because it works for several reasons. It fits with the Congress, with the House, it fits with the Senate. In other words, that's either 6 congressional terms, 2 senatorial terms, or 1 of one, 3 of the other. You can do the higher math here. So 12 years is a good number for me, but I do support term limits. When you figure that less than 20% of the citizenry is actually voting, we have an awful lot riding on a minority of the population. And of that minority, there's a minority of that minority that's even educated and informed. And so when you start looking at it from that perspective and the consequences of that, we get Obama. So, thank you.
I've actually been saying this for over a year now. I'm against term limits. I have a constitutional right to vote for whoever I want to represent my voice in Washington, and nobody has the right to take that away from me. Certainly not 80% of America who decides they're too lazy or too busy to get involved and find out who the people are that are running the country. I'm looking out here today at a room full of people who came to their personal time on their weekend to listen to the candidates because you're not going to be bought. It's going to take more than signs, more than commercials, more than radio ads or snappy attack ads to get your vote. Term limits doesn't address the problem. It accelerates the problem. Congressmen will just become more corrupt a lot earlier than they normally would. You think about it, committee assignments will change over more rapidly because those in positions of seniority will term out. You'll have everyone in Congress being attacked by the special interest groups and lobbyists buying their vote. I don't think anybody in this room needed term limits. You didn't need term limits to come here today, and I certainly don't think you need term limits to realize that Ann Kirkpatrick's the wrong woman for the job. How much money can Ann Kirkpatrick spend to buy everybody's vote in this room? Answer 0. Because you believe in getting to know the people that you elect. Look, I disagreed with everything that Senator Kennedy did in his 47 years in the Senate. I thank God every day I only had to be alive for 38 of them. But who is the United States government or any other state through an amendment to vote? Where do they get the power to tell Massachusetts who you can and who you can't send to Washington? Just like we wouldn't want California telling us who our congressmen or who our senators should be. Thank you very much.
We're coming to the end, folks. We had a lot of great questions. Thank you all for your participation and your interest. The final question for our candidates is, what is your knowledge of the Constitution